senior intellectual Bruce Michael Bongo, one thing that you have to put into fore is that the millennials and Gen Zs have done great. And one thing that you have to know is that in every revolution, we must have the successful ones, and we must also learn for those that were cut short. Gen Zs and millennials have done us proud because their self-immolation has seriously made it a success up to now, to an extent where we are seeing the Zakayo moving down from the tree. And what we want to put clearly is that this kind of a revolution has spiraled some eruptions from the north of Limpopo to the south of Sahara, with countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Egypt, and also Morocco with our neighbors Uganda. Youths are also clamoring for the same changes, both economically, socially, and politically. What we must now know is that our game, our plan, our aim is to bring an end of William Ruto's regime in this country. That is our aim, and to also destroy and deconstruct all the social fabrics that supports this type of a political system. What we want to put again into fore is that, one, countries like the United States of America and France are products of the 18th century revolutions to date, when the young people stood up to be counted, when there was great mutilation of the orders that they really fought for so hard in their countries. One thing that must come out indeed is that today we know very well that as the Gen Zs and the millennials, there was a type of a meeting yesterday at the State House of Kenya. And one thing that must come out clearly is that we, the Gen Zs and the millennials, we do not have a leader. And we did not fight for this so that anybody can get any political mileage out of it. It is so sad. And yesterday when I saw Junet Mohammed behind Raila Odinga, I knew that all is not well. I knew that all is not well. One thing that must be known today is that we were not fighting to get a handshake of Raila Odinga and William Ruto, because we are just going to see the same things we saw in 2018 after the handshake, when we had serious issues with our own petroleum products in this country. We have to know clearly that the presidency itself has seriously tried to actually cajole and also to intimidate the media, both the social media and also the mainstream media. For what we saw in KTN and the rest, we've seen our movement of the Gen Zs and the millennials faced with several kinds of attempts, coercion, to an extent that we lost one of us to go to their side. Osama was on their side. He went on their side simply because of coercion. And to some of us who are very adamant, you realize that we are being searched for left, right, and center. And that is not one of the things that we really wanted. Gen Zs and millennials do not have any leader whatsoever. And we were not fighting for Raila Odinga and William Ruto to have an handshake anywhere. We were not fighting for that. The other thing that must also be known clearly is that in our own negotiations, we do not want any political leader. Raila Odinga was a prime minister of Kenya during his heydays. We had serious issues that we have today. We have serious grievances economically. And when I talk about economic grievances, we talk about poverty, we talk about unemployment, we talk about inequality and several other things. On social grievances, we understand very well that we talk about this idea of trying to put the media of Kenya to do what the president wants. We will not allow that. These are some of the things that really destroy the fabrics of this country. On the other point, we have political grievances. Number one, we do not want any more bureaucracies in IEBC. Why should we have an ID which identifies us, and then again you go ahead and print several papers in terms of BVRs. The last election, Kenya spent over 7 billion shillings making voters' cards. Why? We want a system that is devoid of bureaucracies. We want a system that is devoid of corruption. That is our own reason. We know that the handshake brothers are there just to share the power. We, the millennials as Gen Zs, are here to have proper governance. That is what we want. We do not care who is going to be the president. But William Ruto has failed. We do not bargain for any type of a handshake, anywhere, anytime. And this should be a lesson that Raila Amolo Odinga should have learned earlier. That this is the same trajectory he was in 1998 when he decided to ditch his own party and join KANU. The result did not even put him to be the president. The same thing happened in 2018 when he left and joined Uhuru Kenyatta. Never did he become a president. Again, he's doing the same thing right now. We do not want to be divided in tribal lines. We should not put the Gen Z movement to appear as if we are against the Kikuyus. We are not against Kikuyus. We are with Kikuyus and they are our brethren, and that is the way forward. And the end game is that when we get a post-revolution government, which is going to be supported by the Gen Zs and the millennials, we are going to support our brethren across Africa so that they can also fight regimes that have stood on the line of the people. We are not going to allow that, and we are going to start with our neighbors in Uganda. We will not allow any kind of rubbish to happen in the continent of Africa. That is the reality, and